I'm Scotty Zwang, and this is my rig rundown with Ryan Storm at Storm Sound. We're here in my garage, which is an unusual place to do this, but I had everything here and I needed to clean it, change some heads before doing some shows locally with my current project. I'm with SunSquabi. So I guess I'll just run everything down. I'm a Tama artist, so all the drums and hardware are going to be Tama. I'm also an Evans Drumheads and ProMark drumstick artist. They're kind of affiliated with each other. So everything Evans, and then as of recent, I've been working with Sabian, not necessarily an exclusive artist, but I'm really liking their stuff so far. And then in the electronic world of things, I guess we'll start over here where things aren't exactly plugged in, but we have the brand new Roland SPD SX Pro, which I love very much. I wish I had things powered and way for sound to run through so that you could hear some examples, but ultimately it's just an updated version of the SPD SX. It plugs into the computer really easily, so I can swap sounds and kind of change things much easier than it's ever been in the past, as well as some cool things in the back that aren't plugged in, but this runs to this electronic kick pedal here, so I kind of get my kick drum sounds out of here, everything else out of here. Before I move to this side of the drum kit, all my audio for SunSquabi at least, but for most of my projects, just runs through a mixer. It's a pretty old Mackie mixer. There's really nothing special to it, besides the fact that, audio is running into there, taped onto my Tama drum throne over here, and then this cable that's not plugged into anything will run to my guitarist and producer Kevin's whole setup, so that I have control of the click. If it sounds a little quiet or it's too loud, I can kind of just give a little bit of an adjustment there. Just a talkback vocal mic with that band, so if we need to talk to each other or if there's an emergency and I need to say something. And that's just running to this custom pedal mute switch that I had made. It's super basic, just red light. Oh, it's not taped on. Red light means that it is, that sound is good to go. That means that it is off. And then otherwise, so now we'll just get to all the Tama stuff that I love. Here, just the Metalwork series 12 by 5 inch, might be 5.5, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 inches deep. This is a copper Starphonic snare drum. And this is something Tama started making not too long ago. Just really solid snare drum. Big fan of how it sounds. Whereas the small one is just, it's more like the drum and bass stuff, whereas this is just your everyday sound. I use some of these snare weights you'll see on pretty much everything to kind of just muffle. What I like about them, especially on the snare, is that they muffle the sound, but if I take it off, it leaves a little bit of resonance that you can hear. So just a little toy. And then all of the toms and the kick drum are from the same series, the Star Classic Maple. I had this kit made for me maybe 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, in a deep purple finish with, it's kind of like a cobalt metal, forgetting exactly, maybe it's just a black nickel, that's what they call it. But this is modeled after a kit I used to tour with for a long time, and I had retired it in 2015. And when I got my new kit for Dopapod in 2015, they were pretty much the same. I just needed something with more options, tom size. So I ended up selling that and pretty much replacing it with an exact replica, but as an all maple kit, whereas my other kits used to be birch babinga. So this is a 12 by 8 tom, 12 diameter, 8 depth. Nothing too crazy. It's actually lower than I want it right now. When I tighten it too much, it's a little choke. So they're actually sending me a 10 by 8 or 10 by 7 version of this. And then over here, I have a 16 by 16 floor tom, really deep. You'll see a EMAD system by Evans on the head, usually used on the kick drums, which is used on my kick drum here. But I find it kind of muffles the floor tom exactly how I want it. I don't really want any resonance out of this thing live. So that's that. Last drum is the kick drum. It's 22 by 14. Sorry. I used to have 22 by 18 and they were really boomy, and I needed something a little more focused for the stuff that I've been doing now. I first got this with Ghostlight. So this was used coming back out of the pandemic with them. And then it worked out great for this new band with SunSquabi as well. Just now I need a smaller rack tom for that. And then, so yeah, the EMAD on the kick drum, same with the EMAD on the floor tom. And then for rack toms, I typically use these EC2s. It's your standard clear, double-coated head that has like a little bit of a control ring on them. Whereas with the snares, I use these Evans HD dries. It's dependable and durable, where I don't have to worry about it breaking. It has these little air holes, so it gives it a little bit more of a, there's not as much resonance as, say, any head that wouldn't have holes in it. So before we get away from the Tama stuff, all the Tama stands are all Road Pro stuff, a lot that I've had for maybe 10 years now, and it's just really durable. I kind of stick with it as my Rode hardware because it just gets messed up over time anyway. And it's really durable, so it hasn't ever broken on me. So you'll see little tape markings. I tend to have little cheat codes to, drop this from a stand or out of the hardware and open it up, and I know exactly where it needs to go halfway on this first one. All the other ones have little versions of them as well. One would say maybe I'm OCD, but it's very helpful for me. And then all of the pedals from Tama are their Speed Cobra series. So it's pretty smooth board, and they're longer. So not only do they have a little bit more options depending on like how close to the beater I play on them or further away, it takes a little less effort. Little technical things. And other than that, it's just these Sabian cymbals we have here. So I'll start from this side and work my way over. But we have the Artisan Series 14-inch that I recently had just gotten, that I'm loving, as well as this Artisan Series 17-inch. I have a 10-inch stack over here. It's kind of like my clap stack, if you will, but it could be used as like a higher pitched hi-hat. So I can have like a, we'll get to that stack eventually, but I can have a like kind of 9-inch nails industrial sound, or I can have like a, and use it as kind of like a clap effect. So that's technically a 10-inch Aerosplash, which I've had for years and I love. Originally, this series came with a 12-inch version of this with this 10-inch mini Holy China. But I kind of just liked the quick release and slightly higher pitch by using two 10s on top of each other. And this is the newest cymbal of my series. I mean, I'm kind of always messing around with whatever my setup is going to be, depending on the band and what I'm achieving. But this I'm really loving. It's the HHX 22-inch Omni ride. It was developed by Jojo Mayer for years and years. And it's more of just having a drier center and a washier like crash of the edge, or like closer to the bow of the cymbal. And dynamically speaking, you can go from, and bring it really down without the overtones taking up too much space. And it's got a very well defined bell. So it's kind of everything I'm looking for right now playing electronic music, especially like drum and bass kind of beats. And then you have an 18-inch complex Aero Crash, also HHX series. Kind of like a China cymbal or something, and it has more of like a gongy, washier kind of vibe to it than a regular Crash would have. That's a little brighter. It just works for like really rocking out. So I've really loved pretty much everything in the setup. It took me about 3 different sets of Sabian cymbals to get to this one, maybe even 4, and mixing and matching, and I'm finally happy. And this is also a new addition, just another stack, but this one is 16. So once again, can kind of use it as like a high-pitched clap. Snare. I don't really play too many like driving beats with it like I would this. I'm rarely ever doing stuff like that. It's usually in conjunction with the snare or as a snare. But yeah, that's pretty much everything besides the fact of what these individually are, which honestly, I'm not even too familiar with them. It came as a set, but it's their XSR series. This is a Monarch Ozone. So I used to have an Ozone cymbal over here. It was a little different. And then I got this one, which really just has a lot more holes. But they're kind of similar. And then it just has this fast stack China. So just another China cymbal. But I think these ones were more designed in conjunction with each other, and that like you kind of buy this set. I don't know if they sell these individually or not, but yeah, so far I've been very happy with all of the Sabian stuff. Oh, except I dropped my mic. Yeah, I mean, sticks are always changing, honestly. So right now I'm using these ProMark, what is this series? The Fire Grain series. And I'm typically using like a 5A. This one's a Rebound 5A. But I found I was playing a lot harder with this band. It's just a lot bigger rock kind of energy. And the Fire Grain sticks are stronger. Something about the curing process of like slightly charring and burning the wood just makes them a lot stronger. And other than that, I use these Vratum shoes. Actually, I need a new pair. I've had these ones forever. As you can see, the bass drum pedal is pretty faded. But they're just really light, comfortable, and I found my feet used to sweat at the end of shows, and they're not as sweaty with these on. So, but that's pretty much everything. I use these Humsenberg cases that are kind of scattered around my garage, but I use one as a table. But this is the one that has my floor tom in it. It's kind of the perfect size for me to just leave, live. I use my phone to control my in-ear monitor mix. And I'm using Ultimate Ear Pro 11s. I don't have them out here with me, but they're just really good for drums or low-end instruments. They have like 3 dedicated drivers for your lows, mids, and a special one. and the highs, but a special one for the low. So, I've been really happy with everything. The only thing you don't see here are mics as well. They're all with the rest of the band gear, but I've been using a lot of the SE electronic stuff recently and kind of experimenting with various things. I mean, there's definitely various Shure microphones. You can't go wrong with the 57. But that's everything. I don't think I missed anything. My lucky drum key, it literally lives right here every show for, I don't even know how many shows, but so don't steal it. Yeah, but that's everything. Thank you for checking out my rig. I hope all the nerdy drum stuff was interesting for you.